Hi, Rhonda.
Hi.
I'm so excited to chat with you. I was scrolling through Facebook and seen, your page, and somebody had shared it, and I clicked on it. I thought it was so cool. So thanks so much for agreeing to be a guest on the show today.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure being here. I've been really excited thinking, oh my land, what are we going to talk about? So I think
Yeah,
I know what we're going to talk about.
yeah, yeah. All the great things. So
Oh, yeah.
so your business is Maple Lane Barn Wedding and Events, right?
Yes.
And you're
Mhm.
located where?
We are in Browns Flat. Now, that's about a half hour from St. John if you're heading towards Fredericton.
Okay, beautiful,
So,
beautiful community.
yes, it's just a little tiny country village. Yeah, it's a really sweet little place.
Yeah,
Very countrified, lovely folks around here.
yes, it is. It's a beautiful spot. So tell us a little bit about what is your business? What is Maple Lane Barn Weddings and Events?
Well, my husband and I got married 9 years ago. Our ninth anniversary will be in 2 days. So,
Oh, happy anniversary.
yeah, thank you. So we've got this cute little barn. It's not a big barn down here. And probably about 4 years ago, my daughter, Sarah, who also helps me with the business, she does a lot of the online putting comments on or announcing when our next tea is or what we're going to be having.
Mhm.
So anyway, she and a bunch of her friends came out to my house one day, and we were sitting out on the deck, and I was serving tea and pie. And the girls, they were all saying, "Oh, my land, Rhonda, you have such a beautiful place. I would just love to come down here and just sit out here and have some tea or one of your delicious desserts or something like that." And so I just got to thinking, I thought, oh, my lady, yeah, well, we got that barn there. And so my husband, Jeff, he's just retired from the RSMP. Yeah. I said, Jeff, I said, why don't we clean the barn up and maybe open up for, weddings and events. But I thought, well, maybe we could just start luring people in by having pie and tea or whatever, just so people could see the place, right? And maybe get more weddings and things like this. And so we went to work. Let's see, this is our probably 2017 we started working on it. 2016 we started working on it in the fall, and redoing the floors and putting lights, and he built two beautiful wagon wheel chandeliers. And like I said, so it's not a big place, but so we just did that, and we decided to open up. And someone had given me a whole bunch of china teacups, so I thought, well, let's just do this. So I started serving tea and pie, and it's just kind of grown in leaps and bounds. And
Wow.
people are always mentioning, "Oh, you're from Maple Lane. Oh, I've heard about that." And we had people on Sunday come from a yacht club in St. John, and another lady called from Fredericton. Her mom wanted to come down, wanted directions, and then my son, who lives in Fredericton, he brought a whole bunch of his friends down for pie and tea, and yeah, we had a lovely evening.
So when you say clean up the barn, was this like a barn that was already in use with animals, or
Well,
like
it
how much
used
did you have to clean up?
it was a lot. It was this is a barn that's built into a hill, so there's a lower part and an upper part. The upper part is what we cleaned, and we had to redo all the boards because it used to be a hay barn. The barn is around 100 years old, so
Oh, nice.
it needed some work done. So we laid a whole new floor down, and then we put the lights in. Once, unfortunately, still in a good wind, we still get some hay and stuff that come down, but I guess you can say it's part of the charm.
It would lend itself if I want to have a wedding in a barn,
Yeah.
I know that that's kind of the ambiance that I'm going to want, right? So,
Well,
um,
we also have a few cows and chickens here too. And so when families come with their kids, they love
oh,
seeing the chickens and feeding the
yeah.
chickens. And of course, the cows are always curious out in the field. So yeah, it's a draw for all families, especially kids love it here too.
Yeah. And that's what I love about small business owners like yourself in New Brunswick, because they are literally, that's when business ideas come to them, sitting on their porch serving tea and pie and saying, I think I could do this for a bigger audience. So how have the years been, I guess before this summer, because the summer's a little bit different. So, has it taken off? I know that you've had quite a few teas and a lot of people, I talked about it on Facebook. I've read some of the reviews and everyone says it's a great time.
Yes.
Now, fast forward to this year,
Mm-hmm.
when, it looked like, our summer was going to be, spent in our backyards. Did you
Yeah.
have to do anything special or certain, anything, did you have to change anything and pivot because of COVID?
Yes, a little bit we did. We had about 10 tables in the barn. So what we decided to do, of course, you need the 6 feet of space between each table. And so we've just set it up with less tables. We took 3 tables out and then we spaced the ones that were left in the barn around so that there's 6 feet between each table. And the 3 other tables we're going to put right out into the pasture. So if people come, it's just outside of our barn. So but because the weather this past weekend wasn't really great for sitting out in the pastures, we didn't use them, but it still worked out good. Of course, we have to sanitize our hands, and we've been wearing our masks and gloves. And we just ask everyone that comes in to sanitize their hands and follow the arrows. So we're trying to be doing what we're supposed to do in order to keep everybody safe.
Yeah.
And everybody's been great.
And it's so great again, and kudos to you, for being able to see beyond that and saying, I know how I can do this even in this, in the face of a pandemic, right? And people have to be patient and know that your capacity is limited, right? So it you can only fit in so many people. But as you're talking, I have these visions of, as a child, watching like Anna Green Gables or Road to Avonlea when they used to do the teas in the out in the in the barns or in the passengers. Yeah.
I used to watch those same shows. Yes.
Yeah. I just can just picture it. So what are you most famous for? I know that you do some weddings, you do some events, you do these teas. What is Maple Lane most famous for?
Our teas. Like we have had a few weddings. We did have a wedding, unfortunately, that was canceled this year. We have another wedding coming up in October, and Lord willing, we'll be able to have that, but we're just playing a wait and see. And for the past 2 years, we also had an old-fashioned Christmas market here in December. Okay. And that was, both years, we had a really good turnout. There was a lot of people. We also set up in my husband's garage, and I made a Christmas cafe in there. So we had tables set up, and so I was selling homemade pies and desserts and, all the Christmas fare. Plus we had a lot of vendors that came down, and of course Santa Claus came for the market too. And this past Christmas, of course, we have a beautiful pasture field here, and so kids were out sliding. So it was just exactly what I think of as something as old-fashioned. Kids out sliding, visiting with Santa, playing in the snow, things like this, buying crafts and listen to Christmas carols. And we were always having some groups come in and do some singing. Of course, it's a lot of work, but in the end, it was always rewarding too, because people love to come.
Yeah, it seems like you're taking that, you're right in between 2 busy centers, right? In Browns Flat, you have the hustle and bustle of both St. John and Fredericton, but you're really encouraging people to come out a little bit from their busy lives in the city and just kind of, take a step back, and enjoy things, in a more serene way.
We are hoping to eventually, we have a place where we have natural springs, and we'd like to build a pond. So in the summer you could fish, and in the winter you could skate. But that's we're just doing our business as we can afford it. We're not borrowing money or anything like that. We just want to do it on our own terms.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's a thought for the future, and so eventually maybe we'll get to that place.
Yeah, you seem to have some.
I would say our teas are the big draw right now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we've had a lot of people say, "Oh, my land, I'd love to have a wedding here." So here's my business card.
Right. Yes. And I think as we move forward, outdoor weddings, as long as there's some shelter, may be the answer to people who, this new social distancing, rule is going to apply for a while. And I think outdoor weddings, with a little bit of shelter that'll probably be some things that people will switch to, right? But it sounds to me like you have a plan to grow your business and add even more exciting things out there.
We just take it one day at a time, and my daughter has some good ideas and too. So I wanted her to be here today, but it wasn't possible. But she's got a lot of good ideas, and she's such an asset to me in this business. And of course, my husband, anything I need, he's right there to help too.
You have an entrepreneurial family.
I even have my granddaughters involved. I have my granddaughter Sophie, who's 12, and she helps do dishes. And this past tea, I had my next granddaughter Kate, who's 7, and she had her little apron on, and she was going around and serving pie and cleaning the tables off, and she was a big help.
And those are the best because, when people, like when customers see that, this is so important for your family, then it makes people want to, bring their own family and enjoy those things, right? And know that they're going to be safe and they're going to have a great time. So how can people find you, and how can they attend your teas or book a wedding or book a tour or something like that? How can they find you?
Well, the best way to find us is on Maple Lane, on the Facebook page, our Maple Lane Weddings and Events, or else they could send me through Facebook a message, or our phone number, 506-468-2098. A lot of it's word of mouth, and it gets spread. Plus, we have our business cards that we can pass out. So, that's about how you can get a hold of us. But I've had people calling, and it's nice to hear back a few months ago before all this, while we were just starting with the COVID, everyone was saying, Rhonda, are you going to be having your teas this year? And I'm saying, well, I'm not sure yet. I hope so. We're so excited. We so enjoy it. And so that encouraged me to really pursue doing what we needed to do to open the place. The only thing different we were doing this year is I was doing the teas every weekend last year. But this year we're going to do them every second weekend. So our next teas will be, I think, Saturday and Sunday. I think it's either the 24th, the 25th, or the 25th, 26th. I just don't have the calendar in front of me right now. Saturday is always 2 to 4. And Sunday is always 6 to 8.
Nice.
So that's
when you have them right up until the fall?
Yep. We do them right into October. It gets a little chilly, but then we supply blankets for you to cuddle up in a blanket and hold on tight to your tea.
Well, I think it's amazing. I'm adding it to my staycation list for the month of August or September. I think it would be a beautiful place for those a nice cooler Sunday evening. Those are my favorites. So I'm definitely going to add it to my staycation list. And I wish you all the best with your teas and with with everything that happens at Maple Lane. And I thank you so much for being my guest today.
Well, thank you for having me, and I look forward to meeting you in person.
Awesome.